Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Rodgers.
Try to find my way back home. I ain't got nowhere to go. Out there on the open road, I feel it all around me. I could write 1,000 songs about everything I ever lost. Set out on the lawn, sing it to the fire, but I wanna drive till the wheels go rolling by. Me, you got to die for something I can't wait no longer. Tired of feeling so dull, waking up on the kitchen floor. I'm overselling my soul for a couple bucks an hour. Might never see a dollar no more, but I'll roam from coast to coast. I'm going out like the dinosaurs, so vanish in the night. Well, I wanna drive till the wheels go rolling by. Me, you've got to die for something I can't wait no longer. I'll miss the hills in the fall where I used to walk the dog. It's hard to let go of it all. Oh, I wanna drive till the wheels go rolling by. Me, you've got to die for something I can't wait no longer. Drive till the wheels go rolling by. Me, you've got to die for something I can't wait no longer. Oh, I'll drive. Yeah, I'll drive.
Hey folks, this is Sam Roberts.
Hey, this is Kim Mitchell.
This is Hannah Georges.
This is Matt Mee.
This is Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite, and you are listening to
You're listening to
And you're listening to
the Hulk Caesar Show.
Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show. I am your host, Hulk Caesar. Joining me as always is my illustrious co-host, Newfoundland songbird Emily Malloy. Emily, it's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Thanks to Andrew Rodgers for kicking off the show. We're going to chat with him a little bit later on. First up, we have NTV's weather anchor and their newest star. He spent more than a decade working across Canada with CTV in Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Calgary, where he became the weather anchor for Calgary CTV Morning Live and the national daytime weather anchor for CTV News Channel. He graduated from Ireland's Limerick Institute of Technology with a degree in creative broadcasting and holds multiple broadcast journalism diplomas from Loyalist College. In 2024, he came back home to bring you the weather on Canada's superstation, NTV. Ryan Harding, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Good to be here. Good to be home. Boss, thanks for this.
No sweat.
It's great.
You've worked in cities all across Canada. What was the biggest adjustment coming back home to Newfoundland?
Ooh, that is a great question. I would honestly, honest answer, it's the head nods and the eye contact everywhere, because I had that and then went to all these cities, and you'd go into a grocery store or a gas station and the attendant would look at you like,
"You're crazy.
You got a problem?" I'm like, "Oh, I just want to know how your day's going." So getting back into that, like opening up again. Now, it didn't take long, obviously,
sure.
right? It's in there. But that, for sure. And it took me a minute to get back into, what's the right way to say this? Getting back into appreciating the nature. You know, I think spending all that time in the cities, you're looking for city things to do.
For sure.
And then you get back and it's like, we don't need all that. Everything you need is here in the nature. And it did take some time, but oh man, am I out there enjoying it now?
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, the weather here can be somewhat unpredictable, to say the least. What's the most challenging part about forecasting here?
It is. But you learn the patterns quick. So a lot of it is just in the wind. So if you can see what way the wind is blowing, you can generally predict whereabouts the weather is going to be in region by region. For example, a southwest wind, you're probably going to get some fog on the south coast. It's where fog is made. The wind is bringing it in. And likewise on the north side, the wind changes.
Yeah.
so that's
Quite
where
often.
the challenges are. And two, this is a true story. When I first moved to Winnipeg, which was the first stop from home.
I also lived in Winnipeg.
Is that true?
I worked at the Money Mart at Portage and Arlington doing the graveyard shifts.
Oh my. Oh, you've got stories.
I do.
You've got stories. I know that for a fact. So driving into Winnipeg, I could see Winnipeg in the distance. I thought, oh, great, getting close. And then looked at the maps and it was like 2.5 hours away. I was like, how's that possible? I can see it.
Yeah, you can watch your dog run away all weekend.
Right?
What?
So weather was the same thing. You could have a 5-day stretch and it was gospel. Here, I don't like giving out numbers until we're 24 hours out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, as you mentioned, things change. But within 24 hours, you can get pretty good.
Interesting. You started your career in pro sports before moving into broadcasting.
Yeah.
What was that transition like?
Hard.
Yeah.
Because that was the goal.
Oh,
Sports was the goal. And if you're going to celebrate the wins, you got to celebrate, acknowledge the L's as well.
For sure.
But there's a lot in that. And I think it's funny where you can pick up different skill sets, because a big part of telling the weather story now in what I do is these fun, whimsical graphics of sorts. And where I was working in pro sports was the behind the scenes things. So everything that you experience at a hockey game specifically that isn't the hockey itself was part of teams that put that together. So a lot of that is video creation, content.
Yeah.
So that plays well into this. But I left Newfoundland and Labrador to work in the NHL and on the broadcasting side of things. So a TSN, a Sportsnet. But news was just where it cracked at first, and then weather second to where it came after news. That was the progression. And slowly but surely, it was just getting further and further away from sports. So I took a pause at one point and made the decision to not take a step back per se, but to really go for that sports that I left here for, and got in with the Edmonton Oilers organization.
Wow.
And then COVID, right?
Oh, God.
So we were cruising, we were humming right along, we were living the dream. And then before we even could spell it, we were all laid off.
That's a bummer.
And then I moved to Ireland for a bit, ran around in Ireland, and then the entry point back into Canada was weather again.
Very
So we
cool.
picked up from there.
Nice.
What's something people might not realize about being a weatherman?
It's not our fault. It's not our fault.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Some Newfoundlanders think it is.
it's true. But it's hard and it's easy here. It's hard in the fact that, so let's take CTV Calgary, for example. You're the weather person for Calgary. It's a very small radius. Here, you're up in the Torngat Mountains, you're in Labrador West, Long Range Mountains, the Burin Peninsula, fog on the south coast, snow on the northern side, and rain on the east side, right? So that is difficult. But the easy part in it is it's one of the three things that we love to talk about.
So true.
So you're just having a yarn, right? Like it takes there's pressure there because so many of us make our living dependent on weather.
Yeah.
And if you're wrong, you hear it. You do, and I welcome it. But in the same breath, it's what everyone is talking about. So you're joining the conversation more so than teaching a lesson, or it's gonna be this, because I feel people have talked about it all day. So you're adding to the conversation, and that conversation happens around the supper table. That's when we're on. So I feel like you're just wedged in at the dinner table with a group of people and joining in on that conversation.
People give you crap in the grocery store ever?
All the time. Well, you're not as big as you look on TV. I get that all the time. And it's true. Pretty tiny guy, I suppose. Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, well, let's take a quick break. Let's go all the way back to January 2025, the week before our first ever video episode. We tested our cameras out with this recording from the stunningly talented John Moran and his song Liquor Store on the Hulk Caesar Show.
Yesterday I stood in line at the local liquor store. The lady asked me, "Did you find everything that you're looking for?" I said, "Not quite, there's just one thing I don't see on your shelves. A bottle that can cure us of what we've done to ourselves." So who am I to call upon to register my complaint? Customer service representatives or pity's patron saint? Of all the things I've tried to be, most of them I ain't. Along the way the lines got blurred and now I need some paint. Maybe I overlooked some information that I need to know, that never comes up in conversation anywhere you go. She looked at me and said, "My son, I'm just an employee at the local liquor store. What does this have to do with me? Just take your change and move along. My heart goes out to you. But now I must get back to work. There's someone in the queue." And sure enough, behind me stood a young familiar face, waiting to take my place when I'm done the race. Dressed in black with sneakers on, I've seen them at the pub. I tried to give a friendly nod, instead I got the snub. Maybe I overlooked some information that I need to know, that never comes up in conversation anywhere you go.
We are joined on the Hulk Caesar Show by NTV Weatherman Ryan Harding. Ryan, you spent the pandemic years in Ireland. What was that like?
Oh, it started out unbelievable. It was not there at the same time it was here. So when I first got there, everything was wide open. It wasn't talked about. complete freedom, travel on the weekends type thing.
Oh, wow.
That changed
Yeah.
very quickly. And very quickly, it became the most locked down country in Europe for a short time. So it was incredibly isolating to be in a country alone and alone in that country alone, right?
Very alone.
Yeah, but met some good people.
Wow.
I had a friend that I met over there, and because I was alone during Christmas, they invited me over to their spot for Christmas dinner.
Oh, that's so
And
nice.
with their family and a bit of an extended family, and their sister and her husband were in from England, so it was this big house full of people, and I was meant to be there for 2 days, and then the lockdown happened, and I was there for 2 months
Oh, wow.
with a bag of clothes for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
It was like something out of a movie.
Wow. That's
Oh, it's so
crazy.
nice that they were so welcoming.
Oh, they
and,
were-
It's like being in Newfoundland. They're like, oh, come over to the house, buy your best
Yeah,
con.
it was just that. Shout out to the McLaughlins, lovely.
Now we've heard the term on this show many times. J school. Was that J school you went to?
Ooh, no. So I didn't really so much go to J school. What I did was I took a college program in Ontario. It was a 3-year program. I took a 4th-year option for some journalism, but it was still an advanced diploma and a diploma. And when COVID happened, and I was working with the Oilers organization in Edmonton, and that closed pretty quickly, it was a real realization of, I work in a pretty niche industry and a pretty niche market, and a lot of things want you to have a degree. And then I remembered back in college, someone came into a class from Ireland, and they said, you can come over here and you can upgrade this in a year. I thought, I wonder if that's still a thing. So I went online and looked, and I missed the submission date by a day. Then I thought, we're in a global pandemic. There's no way they're getting a ton of international students come through.
Sure.
So I put the application in. I was approved 48 hours later, and then 48 hours after that, I was on a plane to Ireland.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah. It was
That's
wild.
So cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How do you approach making weather the story?
Ooh, I like to make the community the focus and then tell the weather around that. So there's an old saying at NTV there, and it's project the beauty of the province onto itself. And so, for example, last week, the Corner Brook Royals signed a former NHLer, Donald Brashear. He's 53 years old. He's a fighter in the NHL.
Played for the Canucks,
back
right?
when-
Played I lived in Vancouver. He played for the Canucks. Yeah.
Very cool. So that's like, what? That's wild.
Yeah.
So let's dive into that. Let's pick that apart a little bit. Oh, by the way, it's going to rain tonight, like in Corner Brook, unless it actually is the story. This summer was a hard summer, right? We had the fires, and all of a sudden the weather is the story. But for the most part, I think, in news, that first bit of news before the weather, you call that the top block. And if you're a journalist, you want to be in the top block. That can be a tough watch, right? So it's almost like, all right, let's rinse off here. Let's chat some weather. Let's have a little bit of fun. And then we'll get back to the news in a second.
Did you spend much time out around CBN this summer?
Yeah. Obviously a beautiful spot, but you have to slide in there, unfortunately, as well, right? Out there. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I've said it a few times, but you mentioned it off the top of the show, a few of the stops. So there's, been floods in Manitoba, wildfires in Saskatchewan, wildfires in Alberta, and you go to a lot of these evacuation centers, and they're not nice places to be. It's hard. It's really hard. I find it hard. But here it was, how can we help you? I was like, me? No, I'm all right. Don't worry about it. And it was overwhelming to see the way those communities came together, how upbeat it was. I'll never forget it. It might be one of the most important stretches of my career. And it was just as I was moving back home again. And not to throw shade on any other place. Obviously, there's great people everywhere, and you run into those. But, there's been evacuation centers where I've covered robberies and stabbings.
Oh, wow.
In those evacuation centers and other places, right? And here it was like, early on, there was one where we were all saying, like, this is a kitchen party,
Yeah.
right? And not to take away, because as the summer went on, I mean, it became more difficult and more difficult. And now we're seeing, obviously, the results of it afterwards, and there's still lots of work to do within there. But the way everyone came together and kept the positive spirit up there's just nothing else like it. Truly.
So true.
Yeah.
So what's next for you at NTV or beyond? You got any new projects or goals on the horizon?
Good question. Good question. I think most of my goals now are to stay still. Stay still. And God bless NTV for allowing me to do that. It's tough moving every year.
Yeah.
I tell you, right? Up and about, moving around. Yeah. So just enjoy.
Stay in one place for a little while.
Enjoy.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Not many places. NTV.ca.
We were just talking about that. NTV.
Oh, you lucky duck.
Yeah. So we are in the process here of getting a little bit of social media on the go. Personally, don't have it. Relatively new thing, but I'd recommend it to all. It's great for business. It's great. You got friends across the country, across the world. Keep in touch.
And what are you going to do if you don't go on social media? Yo-yo, I guess? That's actually a pretty good idea. We should get a yo-yo one maybe.
We should maybe.
That was really popular when I was a kid. They used to come to your school and do yo-yo tricks and stuff.
Do people still do that?
I don't know if they do or not. A roller skate? They used to come to school and roller skate around for us and stuff too. I don't know if they still do that.
Wow, you had a cool school.
Not to brag or anything, but the Skipper. You remember Skipper from CBC? I had the
Yes.
TV show. Skipper came to our school once and I was out sick that day. So the whole school got their picture taken with Skipper.
Oh.
I'm not in it.
Break your heart.
No.
Oh boy.
Still stuck with you.
Devastating.
Tonight's musical guest is a powerhouse from St. John's. He's a Music NL Award winner and ECMA-nominated singer-songwriter who knows how to make a stage shake. His debut album, Let It Out, turned heads with its big vocals, earning multiple nominations and plenty of hometown pride. Whether he's fronting Fairgale or co-writing radio-ready hits, he brings the kind of raw energy and soul that leaves its mark long after the chords fade. Andrew Rodgers, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
How's it going?
Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about the song that you opened the show with?
Yeah, it's a song called Drive. I think it's going to be the next single. A little bit up in the air at the moment. But it's a song about, I don't know if everybody else feels like this at some point. Maybe not Ryan based on how much he's moved around. But but sometimes I just feel like getting in the car and just taking off and with no real sense of direction, just kind of just staying in motion, And I do feel at home that way somehow, yeah.
Nice.
Do you have certain drives around town you like to do, or you got to go out of town a little bit, or?
Well, recently I'm not long back from a tour out west in Alberta and BC, and I just enjoyed just driving through the mountains and taking all that in and just hopping from one town to the next. So kind of encapsulates kind of that spirit, I guess. Yeah.
Cool.
Did you play in Vancouver?
Yeah, I did Vancouver.
Where'd you play?
It was a place called Guilt & Co.
Oh, yeah.
In Gastown.
Yeah.
It's my first time in Vancouver. So I'm
amazing. Yeah, beautiful city.
Yeah, it's a cool place for sure.
You've been part of the local scene for years with Fairgale. What inspired you to go solo on your new album?
I just love to write songs. I do it a lot, and with Fairgale, we have 3 albums out there. There's 2 lead singers in Fairgale, so I guess I have about 4 or 5 songs every 2 or 3 years that I get to release, and I have a pretty high creative output when it comes to songwriting, and I just needed another avenue to pump more stuff out there. So yeah, that's kind of the reason.
Are you kind of always writing songs, you find? Kind of always toying around with stuff? Or?
Yeah, I'm always, I'm constantly writing, sometimes more than other times, but I feel like I'm always working on a song. Like, it doesn't matter what's coming up, if I'm recording or not. It's just a constant process of just looking for inspiration and continuing to just write about life experiences and, how I feel about the world, sort of thing, So.
Very cool. How has your songwriting changed now that you're writing from a more personal perspective?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. When you're writing for a band, I think I'm a little more reluctant to be more personal, because you feel like you're kind of being the voice for a group of people. But as a solo artist, it was kind of scary, to be honest, at first, because you feel very kind of naked, vulnerable to the world. If you're writing about things that actually have significant purpose in your own life, you're definitely putting yourself out there. So it definitely feels like I'm standing in front of the world naked a little bit, which can be uncomfortable, but yeah, you get used to it.
You've performed on some big stages. What was one of your most memorable live shows so far?
I think the one that really jumps out to me is there's been a few. I've been fortunate in recent years But Fairgill played at the Somo Festival in PEI, which was like a huge festival. We started off the day, we opened up for a band called Greta Van Fleet, if you're familiar with them.
Yep.
They were the headliner at peak attendance. It was, I think, just shy of 20,000 people.
Wow.
Whoa.
And it was just like, you know, I kind of felt like, I guess a comparison would be, you know, you're waiting for a moment to get called up to like the big leagues or something. It felt like you like, okay, here's a moment to actually stand, you know, in those kind of shoes, you know. So that was a crazy experience.
What's it like in front of that many people? You feel like you can hear them all, or?
Yeah, I mean, we played early in the day, so we didn't play to obviously the full capacity, but yeah, it was crazy to just be kind of standing there with that monolithic PA and a catwalk and all kinds of, you know, it was just.
Did you use the catwalk at all?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did. I actually had we went there with like the longest guitar cable I had was about 20 feet, and I had to get a length of a 50-foot cord because I wasn't prepared to reach it. Like I've never had to deal with that particular issue before. So anyway, that was kind of
That's
awesome thing.
so cool.
Yeah, it was wild.
What was the recording process like for this new album, and who did you collaborate with?
On the so I'm about to head into the studio and start a new album, completely changing the process. But the first album you're referring to, Let It Out, that I released last year, it was recorded over about 2.5 years, which was quite a bit of time. But it's myself and my good friend Robert Kelly, who plays in the band with me. We just got together when we could, and we just went track by track. In terms of collaborations, some people who played on the album were. Paul Kinsman played a lot of keys on there. Nick Earl played a lot of electric guitar on there. Had Claire Follett play stand-up bass. Aaron Collis played some accordion on the opening track. Dan George played a drum track. Nick Coldis Clark played on a couple songs. My buddy Brad Tuck played drums.
Awesome.
So there's a whole
List of all-stars.
There's a lot of
That's
people on there.
wicked.
Now, how's it changed for the new recording you're doing?
Yeah, so this is kind of in motion as I sit here. This is kind of coming together, but we're planning on. So I just showed the band. So I play solo, but I have a band at times, and I just showed the band a couple new tunes, and like instantly they picked it up and it sounded amazing. So I was just like, okay, this next album, let's all get together and let's record it live off the floor, and we'll overdub where necessary. But so the plan is to get together and capture that feel. To me, like that's what I like. That feel of like that live raw energy when you get it and you get it right. I think it's a magical thing for sure.
Such a cool idea.
Yeah.
All right. Well, will you grace us with another song live at Caesar's Palace here on the Boulevard?
Absolutely. This one's about so I actually come from a real small town called Hants Harbor out in Trinity Bay.
Oh yeah, I grew up in Whitburn.
Oh, did you?
In Old Purlican.
Oh yeah, so I went to high school in Old Purlican.
Oh yeah.
I've been in St. John's long enough now that everybody in town calls me a Bayman still, but everybody around the Bay calls me a townie.
I heard that.
So kind of trapped in Bayman townie purgatory. But this one's about that town where I came from, Hants Harbor. I get to go back there every so often, and it's a mix of nostalgia, a little bit of sadness, if I'm being honest. It's those small outport fishing towns are constantly dwindling over time, and it's just kind of a shell of what it was, how I remember it anyway. And this one's called Crumbling.
Summer, now it's rusty nails and broken glass. And that old church up on the hill is where I bid my father farewell. Somebody painted our old house yellow. It's still red in my mind. still shut down. They took all the money out of this town. They can't keep the teachers, can't find a preacher, but I hear the congregation singing now. Oh, I don't want to go anywhere but here. There's no need to hurry. You would have loved me back in the day, my dear, but now it's crumbling. It's crumbling. Don't wanna go anywhere but here. There's no need to hurry. You would have loved me back in the day, my dear. That's crumbling. I don't wanna go anywhere but here. There's no need to hurry. You would have loved me back in the day, my dear. Now it's crumbling. It's crumbling. It's crumbling. It's crumbling.
So good. Amazing.
That's amazing.
That one's going to be amazing in my personal collection. Gonna hear that one a lot.
You guys.
Beautiful. That was amazing. Where can folks find you online?
Yeah, it's AndrewRodgersMusic.com. There's a D in Rogers. That seems to trip a lot of people up. Yes, it's Andrew Rodgers Music on Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, you'll find me.
Perfect. It is now time to play everyone's favorite game of questions.
Okay.
Caesar's Casual Conversations with tonight's guests, Ryan and Andrew. We have refilled the commemorative E.T. the Extraterrestrial hat with questions. Choose one and answer it as much as you'd like to, or draw another one. Here we go.
Now, long story short, we had over 200 questions that the AI gave us that were somewhat general. Then we asked the AI for some deep questions. We used them 1 week. I think Emily cried. It was a bit too
very
much.
depressing.
So we scrapped those questions. So then we asked the AI for 100 retro questions. Now we're getting down in questions here. We've probably got about 30 questions left in the hat. Draw a question. If you don't like it, throw it on the floor. If you do like it, read it out loud. We'll all go around and give it a quick answer.
Let's do it.
There you go.
Thank you, sir. What super specific smell that brings you way back? Hockey puck.
Yeah.
And it is Canadian Tire. To me, a hockey puck smells like Canadian Tire.
Oh my God.
And that is bumming around the Canadian Tire store with my dad on a Saturday. But I used to always get these little sticker booklets, and you could take the stickers off and build scenes. I guess.
Oh, I remember those.
Remember
like
those?
Christmas scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I forgot all about that.
Yeah. I smell a hockey puck, and it puts me right in the aisle.
I used to love those things.
Yeah.
Emily?
So I have I guess a similar-ish. It's like magazines from back in the day. So if I pick up a magazine and open it, it has like a smell and it reminds me of the Sears catalog for like getting Christmas, like the Christmas Sears catalog
Wish
and
book.
like the wish book. So I would just sit through it and circle everything and initial everything I wanted. So now when I pick up a magazine, I'm like, oh, the wish book brings me right back.
How about you, Andrew?
I think I'm going to play off Ryan's answer a little bit. I think he kind of drew this one out of me, but you know that like smell of like the stadium, the cold. You almost smelled. I don't know what that is, but like
Like the
The
hockey,
ice.
like sweaty hockey.
oh,
Yeah.
maybe that's what it is.
It's sweat.
It's disgusting, sweaty hockey guy.
No, I hear that one
Yeah.
too. At the stadium all the time. It's like, it smells like ice. I don't know. It just smells cold.
Yeah, whatever. But it takes me back to like watching my my dad and his friends play like rec hockey and stuff.
Totally.
Nice.
Amazing. For me, it's the smell of like a bread dumpster. We used to live up behind at the end of Elizabeth Avenue. There used to be a Dominion across from the pub there, the Governor's Pub or whatever. It's like a little hotel there,
Yeah.
right before you get Freshwater Road.
Yeah, yeah.
There used to be a Dominion in that complex there, and we lived in the house behind the Dominion when I was like a little tiny kid. And there was a path that came down from there and to go to the Dominion. There was a circle square or a red circle, I don't care what it's called, store there to buy my Return of the Jedi cards. So we'd walk down there every day to buy Return of the Jedi cards, and there was a bread dumpster back there. And the smell, now I smell that bread dumpster. Man, I got to have some Return of the Jedi
Bread
cards.
dumpster? Like a dumpster full of bread?
Yeah, I think it was just like,
Discarded
I think it was
bread?
like a bakery in there, I guess. So it was like a bakery dumpster.
Oh,
And it
that's
just smelled
so
like,
sad.
I don't know what it smells like, but I know it when I smell it.
I didn't have one of those.
I didn't know those either. I probably would have went dumpster diving if it smelled that good.
Am I passing that Emily there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hopefully this doesn't make me cry.
She hasn't cried yet this week. Pretty good.
We're doing well. It's a good week. Okay, wait. I'm not supposed to look. That's cheating.
Only I'm allowed to cheat.
You're right. I didn't even know we could choose a different question. I don't even know if
Throw it away if you don't like it.
that's a weird one. I don't think anybody should
Oh,
answer.
I love
that
seeing
one.
people throw questions on the floor. That's why the rule's there.
I should have to read it out though.
It's who had the coolest bedroom set up. Like
Oh,
I don't know. Bedrooms are bedrooms. I don't know. You sleep there. Oh, what's a moment from your past you'd relive just for fun?
Oh boy, that's deep.
I don't know. There's so many. Just for fun. So it has to be a fun memory. It can't be like an argument that I thought about afterward and had a better response to.
I like that. Remember, no rules.
That's fair. Something I would relive. I can't say relive Jay's birth because that's not. I mean, most memorable for sure, but don't want to relive it. If I could relive something, I would like to relive like a Christmas from my childhood when all my grandparents were alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my
Excellent.
answer.
Ryan, how about you?
Not that sentimental. I'm not going to go that sentimental with it. I have these moments, it like overtakes, and I go whoa, and sometimes I can't reel it in. Some things just make you like whoa, and so two that come to mind for me was bungee jumping
Oh wow!
and Buzz down at Eastbound Speedway let me drive a monster truck,
What?
and that was like 6-year-old me just came out
That's so
in
cool.
whoa.
So, do you need like a special license, or you can just drive a monster truck?
I don't think
Yeah,
they
I don't
probably
know.
driving the road. I don't think, Emily. I don't think it's.
I was just on the track.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, sure to drive through.
went to Tim's.
But I was, my hands were shaking though. Like I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I think if I
Weird.
redid it, I would actually enjoy it more.
You know, I saw the Gravedigger when I was a kid, and one time his wheels went too high, and the whole damn thing flipped backwards.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, Gravedigger! They used to say, "Here comes Gravedigger."
Not bad.
Do you know how fast you went in the
No
monster
idea.
truck?
No,
Okay.
it was a blur. It was a blink. I don't remember. That's why I want to relive it.
Adrenaline is something. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Amazing.
Right.
Andrew?
Yeah, I guess something I'd relive. I guess quite a few years ago, myself and you mentioned Fairgill earlier. We used to drive all over Newfoundland, playing basically anywhere that would allow us to play. So it's a lot of long drives, hanging out in just like my old Dodge Caravan. And so that you know, as time goes on, some of those experiences kind of drift away from you. And yeah, I definitely do some of that again for sure.
Amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was working at A&B Sound, which was kind of like a West Coast kind of future shop store, and the Sony rep came in one day and asked me if I wanted to go see Queens of the Stone Age that night. This would have been like 2002, maybe.
The model one.
And no, it was in Vancouver, sorry. And so I took the tickets, of course, and that night I went and saw Queens of the Stone Age, and it was in the theater in Vancouver, in the Orpheum Theater, and the ticket was the last ticket right in the back corner of the place. And the way the echoes and stuff were set up, I don't know if you know Queens of the Stone Age music, but the album they had at the time was very kind of like circus, like ba-rum, 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 ba-rum kind of noises. And the echoes were like converging in the corner where I was sitting, and it was like all around me, and it was like such the most amazing experience. I can't even like picture it in my mind now. I'd like to go back and see it again.
That's so cool.
Pass the hat over, Emily, if you don't mind. Watch your headset. You got a long one. Oh, you got a long one too, so.
I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached.
All right.
Again, if you don't like it, throw it on the floor. I throw lots of them on the floor. There used to be like a pile of them over here. Swept them up today.
I do like this. This is good.
I don't
Throw it on the floor.
If it's weird, throw it on the floor.
Don't put it back
have
in.
an answer for you.
Oh, I love this. Everyone's throwing them on the floor.
I know.
Love it.
What was your biggest childhood dream?
Ooh.
It started with wanting to play hockey, and then it drifted into music.
Nice.
What did you play when you played hockey? What position did you play?
I didn't really play. I only played minor hockey when I was in grade 9. I lived quite a ways away from the rink, but yeah, I was always like a forward. Yeah.
Cool.
So still love hockey.
Goal
still play.
scorer.
Yeah.
Emily?
What's the question? What something?
Oh, sorry. What was your biggest childhood dream?
My biggest childhood dream. My biggest childhood dream was to be a singer. Always.
Now look at you.
Yeah, now look at me singing
You are a singer.
and stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
Living the dream.
And like I enjoy it at the pace that I'm doing it. It's
Yeah.
still very much like a hobby.
Well, you're a Newfoundland songbird, though, so.
Yeah, but like there's not too much pressure, so I can still really have fun with it.
Yeah. Excellent. Ryan?
Childhood dream. This is no joke. For years, and my parents have kept all the schoolwork, all the drawings, all this. I wanted to be a milkman.
Oh.
And I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. But for years and years and years, if you asked me, what are you going to be when you grow up?
The milkman.
It's a good thing you didn't do it because you'd be obsolete now.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
No way. Did you experience having a milkman?
Nope.
I never did either.
Not me either.
No.
I drew lots of them. I don't know where that came from.
I think it was like depicted a lot in movies and television though.
Yeah.
And like how cool is it that somebody dropped off milk to
Yeah.
your doorstep?
It was the dream.
That was the dream.
Like a
I lived
milk
in a-
subscription or
Yeah, there
something.
you go. I lived in an apartment that had one of those little doors out in front, like in the hallway, where people used to put the milk.
Oh
the
my
milkman
gosh.
put the milk in the little cupboard, and then you go out your door.
So you've experienced
Well,
the
I never.
milkman.
It was long stopped by the time I moved in there. The milkman was gone at that point. I don't know what he was doing, delivering mail, I imagine.
Yeah.
A dream when I was a child, I wanted to be Weird Al. I love Weird Al, and I wanted to do what Weird Al did.
I was a big Weird Al
Yeah,
fan.
he's amazing, right? Amazing. And like I learned all the classic rock songs. I knew them, the tune of them from Weird Al long before I knew him. Weird Al's polkas. When I was a kid, I loved Weird Al's polka songs, which are like a combination of a bunch of rock songs. And I knew all those songs. So then when I'd hear them on the radio, I'd be like, "Oh, this is Weird Al's song," and they'd be like, "Oh no, it's actually Trooper."
Man, so that just reminded me of something. What's this song? Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge. I used to play that song quite a bit, and I always had this fear that I was going to come in with, sometimes I feel like I need a vacation. 'Cause that's Weird Al's version.
Yeah.
And then as a kid, that was the first time I ever heard the song. Anyway, never happened, but
The guy who does American Pie, I forget what his name is, Don
McLean.
Don McLean. Of course, Weird Al does the saga, the Star Wars song, and he said his kids listened to it so much that he'd get up on stage sometimes to do American Pie, and the lyrics to the Star Wars song would come in his head. And he said a couple times he got up there and just sang
it's
it.
dangerous. Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty funny. All right, one more question. Let's see what we got here. Oh boy,
This is fun.
let's see what we got
Loves
here.
it.
Oh, I don't like that one.
The top.
The old over the shoulder toss. Yeah, there you go.
I love it.
What's a band you wish you had seen live? Now, my other dream when I was a child was to not live in a little tiny town where no one came and played and see somebody other than April Wine. So then, of course, I moved to Vancouver and I saw pretty much everybody that I ever wanted to see.
Okay.
I'll go through 3 bands that I never saw that I wanted to see. I wanted to see Nine Inch Nails. I never saw my favorite band. Never saw them. No one reason or another. Still touring. Still could, I guess. PJ Harvey, I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Loved PJ Harvey. Never really got to see her play. And the third one, I've already forgotten. So I guess that's important.
Just 2.
What are you going to do? Amazing. All right. Well, that's been all the time we have. A big thank you to Ryan Harding and Andrew Rodgers for joining us in this week's episode. Thanks so much, guys.
Cheers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Here's your guest gift. It's volume 3 of our zine.
Okay.
This one is they're all scenes from my high school agenda from 1996. This covers a day in 1995 when I skipped school and went to the Avalon Mall and took pictures of people working with a disposable camera and developed it for some reason and put it on my agenda. And now you have history all to yourself.
It is amazing.
Thank you.
And we'll get you to sign the flyer hereafter, and we'll put it on the autograph wall. Thank you, Emily, for being the most fantastic co-host.
Oh, I thank you for being the most fantastic host.
In the next couple of weeks, we'll have new episodes of a bunch of shows. We're going to have some more episodes of our newly named Under the Covers with Emily Malloy. Emily, we have Janine McGilvery coming up, who's going to come in and play a couple covers for us.
I'm so excited.
Our friend Kathy Stock's also going to come back and do some covers for us. So we'll have some episodes of that in the next few weeks. We're also going to have our brand new game show, Caesar's Pop Culture Party. We're going to film our first episode next week. It's going to be an 80s horror movie themed game show.
So excited.
Emily's going to be a contestant along with our friends Hot for the Moment, Drew and Georgia. So that's going to be a lot of fun. In the meantime, check out www.hulkshow.com for everything that we're up to. For Ryan, Andrew, Emily, and myself, I'm the Hulkster. Thanks for watching The Hulk Caesar Show.